Hey YouTube, this is Jack Connor. Just wanted to pop in with my quick thoughts on Grace Randolph's latest video. Link below. The short of it is that she has some insider information that Bob Iger, who owns or runs Disney, rather, doesn't own it, but runs Disney, is wanting to fire Kathleen Kennedy, and that he has actually taken steps toward finding a replacement for Kathleen Kennedy, up to actually approaching other people like J.J. Abrams, for example, to replace Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not sure if I want J.J. Abrams to do it. I think that he knows and loves Star Wars, and he has made at least one entertaining movie. I have flaws with The Force Awakens. I'm not sure if his style is quite the style that I want to be the dominant style going forward. I love Lost. I am very grateful to him for having created Lost, and I have a lot of love in my heart for J.J. Abrams and what he has done for Star Wars. That said, I'm not sure if I want his vision to be the vision of Star Wars. Although if I had to choose between his vision and Kathleen Kennedy's vision and Rian Johnson's vision, I would definitely go with JJ. However, I really would like, somebody like Dave Filoni, who has done Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars, someone like him to take the reins. He seems to have a lot more love of Star Wars and a lot more ability to tap into the spirit of Star Wars than even J.J. Abrams or anyone else like that. So that would be good. Of course, I don't know how his aesthetic and his tone would translate to a live action situation. Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars were good and Star Warsian in a good, healthy way, but they were very kiddie and very light. So how would that translate? I don't know, but I would like to find out, because I do have enough faith in him from those properties that I would like to see what he could do with live action. So anyway, Grace Randolph is saying that Bob Iger wants Kathleen Kennedy out. He is aware of the huge division among the fan base. He knows the fan base is broken and divided, and that Kathleen Kennedy has brought politics into Star Wars. And the problem is that the politics extend beyond the movies. Kathleen Kennedy has spread her followers, her loyal followers, throughout Lucasfilm, and there are camps within Lucasfilm now. There's the pro-Kathy Kennedy loyalists, and there's the original Star Warsian loyalists, whatever you want to call them. So those are like the non-political Star Wars people versus the political Kathy Kennedy Star Wars people, the SJWs, whatever you want to call them. So we have the two camps, at Lucasfilm right now, and it is making it difficult for Bob Iger to find a replacement. Nobody wants to be the enemy of the other camp. So, and of course, as a fan, I want my camp, which is the non-political camp of Star Wars, to win out. And it would really, break my heart if one of the more political people became the head of Lucasfilm. So, and this all comes on the heels of Solo underperforming really badly, and its underperformance continuing. This weekend, Solo is doing terribly at the box office, and it has been doing terribly. It's going to lose money. Most likely. Probably it'll at least turn a small profit on Blu-ray eventually. One would hope it would. Because Solo itself was actually a fun and entertaining Star Wars movie. It was by no means great. It was probably the least great of the new movies, excluding The Last Jedi, because I don't even really count that as a Star Wars movie. It was so anti-Star Wars. It's the tone and the spirit of The Last Jedi was so against what the rest of the franchise is, I don't even consider it a Star Wars movie. I have my fan edit of The Last Jedi that tries to make it tonally and plot-wise consistent with The Force Awakens, so that at some point I can watch the whole trilogy and not vomit. But I don't even think I'm going to consider the new trilogy canon because it wasn't able to find an organic way to continue the series. By that I mean Return of the Jedi ends the series very conclusively with the fall of the Empire, and there was no organic way to continue that. I think what they should have done was they should have released a special edition for the original trilogy where they fixed the special edition of George Lucas, Han shooting second and so on. And they also introduced a little element, just a tiny little element, don't fuck with the original trilogy, but just something that would have indicated that Plagueis was still around, that he had survived, Darth, Sidious's, the Emperor's assault on him, and was just biding his time for the Emperor to die for him to come back. So, or something completely different. Just some little hook in there to let us know that the story would still continue after the fall of the Empire, or that there was some mechanism, some plot mechanism for the Empire to continue after the fall of the Emperor. Anyway, so, the original trilogy ends very conclusively, and then there's a 30-year gap, and then J.J. Abrams just completely rebooted the story, even remaking essentially A New Hope. And that's kind of my big problem with J.J. Abrams and why I don't really want him to be the showrunner, if you will, for Star Wars, because I think that was a mistake to simply reboot that main conflict, to bring back the Empire. I think there's better ways, the more organic ways they could have done that. For example, Pacific Rim 2, terrible movie, well, not a good movie, but they found an organic way to continue that story that didn't feel as unearned as The Force Awakens felt in rebooting that conflict. Anyway, so that's why I'm against J.J. Abrams running the Star Wars. But that said, I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I enjoyed the energy and the spirit of that. I felt it was appropriate for Star Wars. If he becomes the director or the showrunner of Lucasfilm, the creative director, whatever, I would be okay with that. I would prefer Dave Filoni or somebody else. Maybe you can think of somebody better. Let me know in the comment section below who you would like to run Lucasfilm. Even if it's Kathleen Kennedy, maybe you love those movies. And to be fair, I enjoyed The Force Awakens and Rogue One, and Han Solo to a lesser extent. So she had her moment, but she has tainted and poisoned the well of Star Wars by bad storytelling, bad writing, going against the spirit of Star Wars, letting Rian Johnson just have his way with the franchise and kind of kill the franchise. So, anyway, all of that said, it looks like there is forward progress being made. There is still hope out there. Bob Iger is on this. He is trying to find a solution to the problem, and maybe it will get done. Maybe we will have a good president of Lucasfilm going forward, and Star Wars will be saved. Let me know your thoughts below. If you like this video, please like, comment, hit subscribe, share it on social media. Till next time, Jack out.